Are we going? Okay. Oh my gosh. Everybody needs to literally, I'm getting all of the text messages. And it's not even about one stuff. Like one of them is, but then the other 4 comment threads, text threads. Okay. Phone's going away. Upside down. Not going to look at it anymore because this is not phone time. Okay. Oh my gosh. Go. Stop. 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 Phone's going away. I'm not going to listen to it anymore. Hi. I'm not okay. This is not vodka because I don't feel that great. I was at another wedding yesterday, all day today, and it's just not a good time in the headspace land. But so water, and hopefully my voice lasts because there was a lot of yelling last night. So hopefully everything goes okay. All right, so we have these things are all up. Everything's going there. I need to go to the live control room so I can actually see things. What's happening. So that needs to go away. All that's up. That's up. I posted that. Everything's good. The health is good with the, that needs to go away. That's not what I want to look at. Yeah, so okay. Now the backup stream is going because it's not okay. Okay, hello. All right. I don't know with Arthur. I have so many conflicting everything because I don't understand what's going on with this thing with Arthur. I'm like trying to think about it and try to figure out what's happening, but I don't have much of anything. I don't know what's happening. I don't understand. Yeah. Arthur can't see the forests for the trees, which is weird because everyone yeah, I think he's trying to like looking at too close of details right there. Like I don't know what they're I have my emotions are all over the place tonight because once again there were things that just like there were a lot of snarky things that I have to that I was thinking about, like because David's doing ridiculous David things because that's what David does when he's feeling inadequate. He just decides to like go above and beyond what he absolutely needs to do better about things. But there were some really sad things with that too, and I'm not okay from a lot of things. But Lancelot's back, so you know that's good. Yeah, so let's just run down from the top then. Let me get all this up and let me get my list of I have a lot of caps lock. There's a lot of caps lock thing. So the dwarves were mining. Does anybody have any ideas about the dwarf? Like, were they mining pixie dust or fairy dust or something to revive this bean that supposedly exists, but it actually doesn't exist because Arthur's the king of shade and this king of sketch. I'm not like, are they just to pass the time? Like, I'm not really sure what's going on with that part of it. So yeah, the dwarves are mining stuff, and I'm not really understanding why. But Emma's really creepy with her. There's something with your name on it. Hold on to it. And I'm just like, oh God, I am both scared and turned on, and I don't know how to feel about that. So that was really good. We're gonna. I guess Lancelot living. We're gonna find out why, because there's a story to it, and 5 minutes was not enough to tell it. I guess. Like, since he did die, like during the attack on the village, was that it? Because she was masquerading as, or somebody was masquerading as Lancelot. It's been so long since I've seen season 2. So Lancelot was not, he was dead already, and I don't think we know what, or Cora killed him or something. I don't remember because I'm so bad at remembering. I have not seen season 2 in so long. I cannot remember why Lancelot is the the whole thing with like he wasn't Lancelot the whole time. So I don't know how he lived, and I'm sure there's going to be an epic tale to go with it, because that is how all knights should continue to live when they should be dead. So how about here's the best of the day. Everybody in when they're all in Merlin's tower, everybody's really pretty. Regina in her red dress, and then Belle's hair. I love Belle. The green, and then her hair was all very nicely done and like over the shoulder, really pretty. That was really well done. And then David's just kind of off in the corner holding baby Neil, like, chemistry and book stuff is not really my thing, and I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to hold on to my kid. Yeah, it was really nice to see like the dwarves just like doing their job, I guess. Like I can't really like I thought they kind of got all the fairy dust when they were doing like the big crop of beans in town, which is not anymore, I guess, for reasons that for plot, I guess. It's just for the plot reasons, also because they probably can't get the actor because he's really expensive, probably. So that's the one best is just everybody was really pretty in Camelot as usual. With the Regina's dress, and like Regina and Belle match was really nice, and I was like, oh, they're Christmas colors. What else happened? I'm sorry, I'm really out of it. I'm not in top shape for this, and I apologize for that. Oh, so Arthur and David questing together as brothers, like, okay, don't do that to me, because I have all of these feelings about road trips. And so that's basically, they went on a road trip to go find this toadstool. He, like, the whole, like, we're gonna quest together as brothers, and they found out, like, oh, they're gonna, like, we're both common born, and we're both shepherds, and we both have really awesome wives, and they had a wife off. Like, that was really great. I really would like to watch Gwen and Snow just like have an archery competition. We could do the whole Robin Hood thing where they try to snuff out some, or not snuff out. I just, oh my gosh, I just watched like every single thing about Robin Hood recently. They had like a marathon on BBC. Arrow or Golden Arrow, and they were like having the competition to find out who the best archer in the land was. So they could do that between Gwen and Snow. Okay, so one thing that really like hit me bad. So the dwarves were rebelling, I guess. Just like kind of sick of being shoved around, which I get. Like that's kind of like why they went to Camelot to begin with, was because they were just like, we're tired of being left behind. Like they're just kind of being neglected, I guess, and they're tired of that. And I understand that, I respect that. But they're just kind of rebelling against everybody, and like it's kind of a hard time for everybody, you guys, not just hard for you. But then like David just had this moment that like this was a really good David centric episode, and it really focused on things that I think they needed to. There was just him being really frustrated that like all this bad stuff keeps happening to Emma, and he can't do anything about it. And I think that's really good. Like there's all this meta that's always being talked about how he, like when she stabbed the darkness with the dagger and she became the Dark One, like he had this moment where he was like, he wanted to go after her, and he had that dream in season 3 about how like he's dancing with him and he's like, this is all I ever wanted for you, and she's like, well, you failed, and then got sucked into the wardrobe. Like he's always has this thing where he can't protect her, and it's like really like I'm glad that we had this moment to like show that it really does affect him, and he really is like we've seen through Josh's acting, like that he is trying to do the whole like he is having the problem that how he can't protect his daughter, but like he's having this thing where he's like talking about it, and I think that's good, and I think it's really important that we actually like have now physical words to say like this happens and I don't like it, and I am paralyzed to stop any of it, and I hate feeling like this, and I need to do something about it. So I thought that was like, it was a really good moment, and I hurt a lot because of it, but it was like it needed to happen and it needed to be said, and I'm so glad that it did. So that was a really good scene. And then like Snow being like, I know, I get it, because I'm there too, I still love you no matter what, so we'll get through this together like we always do. And yeah, so it was a really good moment for the two of them, but just to highlight that, Snow had the whole thing with like she needs, I think that Snow needs a little bit more like perspective on her relationship with Emma. Like I think we need to have a scene with that too, because again, mothers and daughters, I have like a lot of feelings about their relationship. So I think we need to have a little bit more with Mary Margaret and Emma and like how she feels about it. But like I'm glad that we had like this moment for David to be like, this keeps happening and it sucks. And I would really like to stop because I hate feeling like this. So it was a good moment. And I see the comments are like bustling through. So I'm like, I'm gonna little monologue here before I actually do that. Okay, so Cora did masquerade as Lancelot. Yeah, because I did, that was forever ago, so I forgot about that. Yeah, I know Regina burned all the magic beans. I just forgot, like, I thought we mined all the fairy dust to actually do that already. So I guess there's more. Sure, I guess. Yes, Gwen, Snow, and Merida archery contest. Like, just let them have at it, and we'll like it would be amazing. Like, just to see them all be like, oh, I'm gonna do this trick shot and like get ahead of you because of this, and then they're just kind of like they each like glare at each other and just completely outdo each other every single time. Be great. Yeah, so Josh did a really, really great job with that scene. Like, just there was all this. I think that the whole fact that he is a dad in real life, that they have like this moment where he could be like really just have that moment of feeling vulnerable and pained. Like, if this actually happened, this is probably how I would feel. Like, it's really great when they can use like real life. Like, it's one thing to be someone who's single and doesn't have a child to be like, okay, this is probably how I would feel. But like when you actually like apply it to your real life situation, be like, no, I actually would feel like this and it would suck. So like it was a really good moment. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. My throat is not having my throat's not having it today. It was a very loud live band last night and I was not very happy to have to scream to be heard over everything. And now I am paying for it today with the not great throat stuff. Okay, so, oh, and the picture of David and Emma in front of the sheriff's car. Even though I'm bringing because she's a shady. Like, okay, that, great. Thank you for all of these emotion. Like, I want some, like, I know that somebody probably has already like screen capped that, but I would like to have like a bigger picture of like Emma and David like leaning up against the sheriff car, like, yeah, we got this, we're taking care. Like, I was like, no, then they have it pinned up on the cork board, and I have a lot of charming family feels, you guys. Yeah, so this was a really good David episode. Like I thought it would kind of be a David episode once I kind of saw a couple more things that were coming out about it, but like it was a really, really good David episode. What happened next? Oh, we are gonna get to the hook and the clapping the hook thing. We're gonna get to that. Don't worry, we're gonna get to it. I'm going to try and go a little bit more in order. I didn't do that I jumped around a lot last week, but we're going to try and keep it to like the episode order. So we will get to the end with the we'll get to it. Okay, so the next thing that happened was Regina, the scene with Regina and Zelina in the tower. Okay, you guys know how you're aware that I'm not her biggest fan in the least, and that I would like her to just poof back to Oz and be done with it, so we don't have to have her like just go away. Now I feel bad for Zelina. Like, I don't know how to feel about that. Like, and I realize that this is also like my dislike of when Regina gets very like, I'm in charge, so you have to do what I say. Like when she gets very evil queenie, like I'm not really a fan of that Regina. I like Regina now when she's more redeemed, but when she gets back into her, like, I have these powers and I'm going to kind of abuse them. I'm not really a fan of that Regina. So now that she's kind of just controlling Zelina, and like I can see both sides of it, and now I'm like, oh no, now this is bad. um, I don't, I just, I don't want to feel bad for Zelina because I don't like her. Like I do feel like, yeah, like everybody's like, I'm seeing all these comments like, oh no, I'm taking Zelina's side. Like, yeah, like I really would like her to just go away with the baby, because if that's what she wants, like, fine. But like, yeah, it's Robin's kid too. But now, like, the joke is that, like, Regina's like, well, what are we gonna do about the baby? I'm like the number one person who like adopting kids is my thing. Like, you get that, and I'm like, okay, but you're just gonna have to become like this weird family, because you can't just kill Zelina. And like the way she implied it when she was like, I'm gonna make sure this baby is happy and loved and cared for, and I'm gonna make sure you're not. And I'm like, okay, Regina, like I realize that there is like all this bad juju between you and Zelina, but like, don't you remember back in season 1 when you also had a feud with the baby mama of this child that also was your child? Like, I feel like lessons aren't being learned. So like, I I like it. Yeah, it's like it's Robin's kid too, but it's also Zelina's kid. So like, I don't know. Like, for Regina to do this whole like, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna make sure this kid is happy and loved and safe, and I'm gonna make sure you're not like, you're gonna have to kill Zelina to do that. And that's not good. And like, she kept on like silencing her and taking away her voice and her ability to speak. And I'm just like, this is not like, she did that to Emma last episode. She's doing that. She did that to Zelina twice now, because she silenced her in the first episode and then she silenced her here. And I'm just like, it's not good. And part of me is kind of wondering if it goes back to like how like Killian was goading her in episode 1, like, isn't, you've done too much good. How does that feel? Like, you can't get this thing. Like, so I'm kind of thinking like maybe she's like trying to find that balance again between like good and evil. And I just, I don't know. I'm very new on board with the whole, like, I like Regina, but like this Regina, I'm not really enjoying very much, just because she's taking backward steps, and she needs to be acknowledged. I think if she acknowledged that she's taking all these backward steps and like it's not good and she needs to fix all these things, like, that would be one thing. But right now she's just doing the like, I'm going to do all this and I'm going to stop all of you from continuing to do that, or from being in my way of doing what I need to get done. Like, she's not very good at like realizing there needs to be compromise in this, I guess. I'm stream of conscious talking. So if like I'm not making any sense, it's because I'm just saying things as I'm thinking them. So yeah, I just feel like she needs to find a balance. Like, right now she's just kind of charging on ahead, bull in a china shop, wrecking thing. Like, it's gonna get very destructive very quickly. So like, I would like that to stop, and I would like some acknowledgements to be made. Yeah, so comments, I saw there was some things about, we can't just get rid of Zelina. Like, I want to, but we can't, because A, Bex is a regular now, so like, she's gonna be around, and B, like, there's this baby involved. Yeah, so I feel weird. And yes, I'm here for the Captain Hood friendship. I liked that Killian was like, hey, so do you need help learning about this phone? And Ron was like, no, I know how to use a phone, it's fine. But then he's like, here's this picture, and it's up inside Zelina, and he's like, whoa, mate, please, I don't need to see the weird, like, photos of your baby mama's vag. Like, I don't need to see that. And he's like, no, it's not like that. It's called a sonogram. There's a baby, and this is the blob it looks like, which I can't remember like what I can't remember my biology, you know, that definite of a fetus shape is like what week along that is. But you know, she's a couple months in now. So yeah, that was really funny. I really liked that. He's like, mate, not like that. It was really good. So very complicated with the Hood Mills family. Not really. Um, okay, yeah, I don't like Selena, so I'm just really it's conflicting to be like, I don't like you, but I feel sorry for you because Regina's being really mean. I don't know. Um, yeah, it's Robin's kid and it's Selena's kid. So like just because Regina's not happy about that, like she can't just wave her hand and make that go away. Like that's not how it works. So I don't know. I don't know. Um, yeah, so just checking the notifications really quickly if there's any things. Okay. Yeah, so that's my feelings on that situation. You know, hey, Zelena's dress is really pretty, so she's got that. Even if she can't talk, Regina's convinced she needs to not do that. Yeah. Okay, so we have the up inside Zelena, mate, not like that. Oh, and then we're prepping for pain and just like, okay, they just dragged that out. Like, can we not drag out this soul crushingness? I knew it was going to be bad. I didn't watch any of the promos or anything like that or the preview stuff because I knew what it was and I was like, I'm not spoiling myself like that. So like that's when the anxiety started, and then there was like then the commercials they kept cutting to commercial like right at the point where I was just like, and okay, I'm just like on this weird cliff of angsty pain, and then you go to a different scene. Like I'm just I dragged it out. So Granny just, and that's my other thing. Like Granny just was like, order up, drop, and go. And like there was this note from Emma, so I'm wondering if that was actually Granny, or if it was like Emma masquerading as Granny, because that's also totally possible. Because I feel like Granny wouldn't be like, yeah, I'm just gonna take this order from the Dark One and then give it to the pirate, and then it's all gonna be fine. Because like Granny is Granny. She doesn't mess around. I'm pretty sure she has a soft spot for everybody who manages to worm their way into her diner. So like I don't think that she would be the one to just like, yeah, I'm gonna help you manipulate your boyfriend who you're hurting, and yeah. So I think that Granny was actually Emma because reasons. So then we have Arthur and David, bros for life, because they had their little heart to heart, be like, yeah, I wasn't born noble either. High five! They're actually like arm class, whatever. They would be better if they high fived, but I don't think high fives exist in Camelot. Then the wife off with Gwen and Snow happened. I already talked about that. Oh, so David, they get to sorry, they get to the marshy bog, whatever, with the piers, and they're like, okay, we're gonna have like, we have to go and get the mushroom or the toadstool or whatever. They're the very fake looking mushroom toadstool thing, and like David pulled out the spyglass, and is it a spyglass from Camelot, or did Killian find him and be like, bro, come back to me, bro, take my spyglass and bring it back to me when you're done having this adventure without me? We were kind of chatting about that on Tumblr a little bit. Is that Killian's, or is he taking it because it's like this of my other bro, or I don't know. We were just goofing off with that. I thought it was actually Killian's because it looked kind of similar, so I don't know if it's just like they were like, it's a prop, reused it from the prop department or whatever. And sorry, looking at comments. Oh, and there was one moment that I just started laughing at, that Arthur was like, when David was crossing the pier. First off, like he was being like really over dramatic, and jump a couple of steps and gonna stop, and then jump a couple of steps and stop. And then at one point it cut back to Arthur, and he was just like really, it felt really overacted. And I was just like, okay, that happened. Dog barking. Lainey, it's okay, I promise. No need to bark. Probably my dad coming home. Yeah, so Liam was just like, really, it was so weird. It was hilarious, but I get what he's trying to do, because he's trying to be like, it's the forest of eternal night, so we can't see anything. So he's like trying to see, but like we can clearly see, because otherwise there wouldn't be a television show if we couldn't see what was happening. So it felt very strange. um, And so we get the mushroom, and then we cut back to the shop, I think. There are some parts that I didn't take any notes because I didn't have anything significant. So I think we cut back to the pawn shop when David was with Arthur after they were on. There was the chest got broken into and stolen. The stuff got stolen. They were looking for it, and they went to talk to Belle, and they got the chalice. And the only significant thing I have to say about that is Ducktoberfest, really? So I'm glad that the dwarves have a sense of humor, and that they just they make good puns when needed. That needed to be made. So now we know when Duck's birthday is. It's in October. So that was good. And then I thought it was clever how they were like trying to just trick people into revealing themselves, but at the same time, I'm like, really? We're gonna do the like hoods up, run away to make it really obvious who, like, it's once. Of course, they're gonna go the cheesy route and like the obvious route. It happens. I've accepted it. But then we just have Griff steals the horse, and they get into the truck, and like first off, we have horsepower versus horsepower. I was trying to be clever. I don't think that worked out, but I thought it was funny. And then David, just David, why? David, stop. David, no. David, what are you doing? Did we not learn our lesson when we tried to be cool grandpa and teach Henry how to drive the truck? Because we're barreling along at full speed after a guy on a horse in this old pickup truck. And then we're just like, feet is power and hands are steering, or hands are directions, or whatever it was. I think it was feet are power, hands are steering. And then he just climbs out of the moving truck. Lainey, can we please stop? Thank you. Dog. And he just climbs out the window and hops into the back of the truck. Like, this is not a good idea. No, not good. Like, and by 4, and I don't know like how the guy on the horseback. And I don't know if you've ever jousted before, David, but there's this thing called dying that happens during it, where the other person gets speared in the chest. And David, no, stop. Why? Like, somebody stop David from having this quarter life crisis or midlife crisis or whatever you want to call it, because that was the episode. Was like, it was a good David episode, but it was also the episode subtitled "David has a quarter life crisis." And no. I mean, and Arthur somehow managed to drive the truck still. Like, I don't know how. And he's like banging on, turn around. I'm like, he doesn't know how to turn around. Why are you yelling at him to turn her? Like, this, I was both like laughing but fearing for everybody's lives involved with the, like, there were words that I don't have to explain this scene and why. So yeah. All right, I have, there's a bunch of comments I see popping up quickly, because I'm still not done processing the truck scene with David and Arthur no, David, stop. um, yeah. Yes, it was David. Well, I and Arthur not doing that. I do remember Arthur having it and then offering it to him, but I don't remember him actually like being the only one who drank out of it. Good. I don't have any significant. Arthur just decided to off his squire because because that's what we do. We off the henchmen when they get their jobs done. About that, I don't have any significant thoughts or if that's going to come up again or not. It would be interesting if it did come back. I don't know. Yeah, David did say the bridge couldn't hold them there when, which that I don't know how many. I'm gonna have to start paying attention to this now because I had an instant Monty Python moment. So when David was fighting the ghosts of knights past wearing this armor, he just kept cutting off the heads. The only thing I could think of was like, it's only a flesh wound. I'm like, your head's off. Why is it only a flesh wound? But I think like that was a really very subtle possible reference towards Monty Python. I would love if they had more Monty Python references because they're in Camelot. Come on, we need to make Monty Python references. So that was my thought during that fight scene, was mostly just, it's only a flesh wound. True bros spyglass. Yep. No, 4x4 jousting is a no. It's a hard no. That's right. Draw the line. No jousting on a truck. I didn't think Dukes of Hazzard just because I've never seen it before. So I would not. That would not be my first point of reference. Sorry, refreshing things. But there's no incoming outside queries. Okay. That's not what I wanted. There we go. If I should, my back might not hurt then. Okay. Yeah. So it's only a flesh wound, Dave. And which I would like to know, and is to filch that pocket. That would be an answer that I would greatly enjoy. Or if like those knights in ghostly armor or whatever were somehow working. Entirely sure about that. I would like to know how that mushroom got to be in his possession, because sketchy Kingman things. Okay, if it sounds bad, if the sound is off or the picture is bad, I really cannot do anything about that. It is my internet connection. My internet provider sucks balls. So I can't really, like, unless I had my own place for that, which I don't have my own place. I can't afford it because I don't have money. I can't really do anything about the sound quality, or I don't know how to. I'm sure there is a way to, but I just don't know how to do it. I have not yet figured out the buttons to push for that, and I'm sure that's somewhere. All right, so we had Saving David, and they decided, we're still heroes, so we're gonna do all the things and continue to be heroes, and then I was actually like, this episode, or this scene rather, like the episode was, I had emotions, but this, like, there was a physical pain in my chest. Like, I actually hurt, like my heart skipped a beat / like throbbed in pain. And I, I don't, I, so they went sailing, the Captain Swan date redo, I guess. We went sailing, and they implied that they used to go sailing and eat dinner in the captain's quarters, and I have emotions about that, mostly because we didn't see any of it and I'm irritated about that. But we can't see everything, obviously. But not happy things are happening, and Emma is very clearly trying to manipulate Killian. She has the dress, she has the hairstyle. She's much softer now. She's not wearing the dramatic makeup. Her hair is back to the way it's supposed to be. And they're talking, and they're trying, like they're trying to play each other back and forth. Like, he knows what she's trying to do, and she's trying to undercut him to like not do that. So like, I'm trying to think how to word this. Like, she's desperately trying to get him on her side. And I had some thoughts about this last week, after the stream, where I'm pretty sure that the reason everybody's back in Camelot is because of Emma, and she did something. And I'm not really sure what that is, but whatever it is, it was something bad to be able to get Excalibur back into the stone and bring everybody back to Storybrooke. And the reason I think she took everybody's memories back is because whatever it was that she did, she didn't want everybody else to remember, because it made them look at her differently, and it made them wary of her, and it makes her feel like nobody loves her anymore. So she's trying to like put on this face where she is like, well, you betrayed me and I hate you, when actually the reality would be that she betrayed them and they hate her. And so she's trying to like flip it around so that like she's putting her it's like walls up Emma. She's got her like, she's definitely acting, and her body language and everything is very much like how she was at the beginning, where she's like, she's not getting close to anybody, she's not letting anybody get very close to her, but at the same time she keeps like reassuring Henry and Killian that like, Henry didn't let her down in Camelot, everybody else did. And then she's still trying to be like, well, we can still be together, to Killian. And then she's again today trying to do like, we can go on this date and we can talk again like we did in old times. And he's like, well, it's not exactly old times because you're not you. So like, I think whatever she did, she's like trying to outmaneuver the Dark One in her head, evil Jiminy Cricket. And she's figured out how to break the curse on herself and how to defeat the darkness. But she's like, she needs to have everything here in the real world to be able to do it. And she needs everybody to kind of figure it out on their own without also knowing that she's the one who caused all of this in the first place. And like, she's trying to like outmaneuver everybody, because you can see in a couple of moments where like Henry asked her to tell him what's going on, and she had this look on her face like for a very brief moment of like she wanted to tell him, but then the walls came back up and so she stopped. And then the same thing when Killian was like, just tell me, like, you can trust me, tell me what's going on, and she had this moment of like hesitation, and then it came back up like, I'm tired of talking, and then she tried to like get him into bed with her. And the same thing happened today, where he's like she wants him to trust her, and he's like, I want to, but you're not you. Like, I can't, because this isn't who you are. You are this thing that I've been trying to destroy for years, and I want to save you. And she's like, well, you can't. And like, there's a couple of brief moments here and there where you can just see on her face that she wants to let him in, but she can't for nefarious whatever reasons that we don't know yet. So I think she's just trying to keep both Henry and Killian on her side, to have that true love's kiss in reserve. Because again, in the first episode, when she hugged David, evil Jiminy Cricket was still there. When she hugged Henry and when she hugged Killian, he was gone. So like, they're her backups for when she needs to, like, she's going to do something with the dagger and with the Excalibur, and then she needs this immediate backup plan where she's going to give up this lust for power, or this grasp of power that she has, and save herself with true love's kiss. And that's my half-baked theory, where she's like, she needs, like, yeah. So that's my theory on that. And I think it might be it, because it again plays up today, where she like had these little moments where she was like, I want to, like, you could just see on her face that she wanted to say, I have this plan, but she can't say it out loud, like, because of reasons, for plot, for drama, for stabbing me in the heart. So the whole thing today where she was like trying to get him to like be this, like, like, we can be together, you just need to, accept me for who I am. And he's like, or she's like trying to use how Belle and Rumpel were able to be together. Like, she's like, well, he didn't find his true love until after he became dark. And she's like, and then he was like, yeah, but look how well that worked out for him. Like, he was very upfront about how he was the villain. I was very happy, and it just showed so much character development that he's like, I am very well aware that I was the bad guy in this situation. I was the one that broke up this family. I was the one that did this, and I feel bad about it, and I hate every second. Like, I hate that this happened, and I hate that I am the cause of all this, but I am trying to get past it, and like, I have this cutlass right here, conveniently, is the one that I held to his throat and made him grovel, and I hate that I was this person, but I'm not anymore, and I'm not going to be that person anymore. Like, that's such excellent character development. And she's like, I think I missed the part. I missed this because my mom was talking to my dog when we were watching this part. But like, when she grabbed it, I think she said like, remember when I taught you how to sword fight again in the storybook? Something along those lines. I did not hear the line. I need to go back and watch the episode for that, and I can feel pain again. I think it was something along the lines of like, she meant like, you didn't remember me, and you were a different person, and we still loved each other. So I think that's what she was trying to get with a point across. But then he was just like, it still isn't you. Like, I love, and the line, I liked like, she's talking about how she's a different person now because she's freer and she doesn't have these walls, and she can be more open, and she doesn't care anymore about stupid little things. She's not scared anymore. I liked that he was just like, I liked you. I liked your walls. I liked to be the one to bring them down, or I liked to be the one to climb over them. I liked being the one that you let in because you liked me in return. Like, that was such a good thing. Like, again, I've been saying this about them all this whole time, about how it's such a positive, like, like, they try to show this healthy relationship where like, they're not trying to change each other. They're just trying to like know each other as they are and love each other as they are. And it's so important that this is how it's done, to be like, you're not, like, you're sick, you're not the way you're supposed to be. And then she did the thing where she's like, if you tell me that you don't love me, I'll let you go. And he's like, I loved you. And I'm like, that at that point I was like, past 10, like, I know that he's doing the thing that he's like, I loved you, I don't love the you are, because you're not you. Like, I get that he's saying like, I love Emma, I don't love Dark One Emma. Like, I understand there's a difference with that, and I know that like, he still loves her, he just doesn't love Dark Swan. And it's really, but then like, the look on her face too, when he's like, am I swimming back, or are you taking, like, am I allowed to take the ship back? And like, the look on her face and the way her voice just cracked just a little bit, because like, she is right. She is somewhere still Emma, and there is still that light inside her that's saying like, okay, I'm still in pain about this because I'm the one doing this to you, and I hate doing this to you. Like, that's why I think that she does have this plan, and she's just kind of keeping it on the down low, because that was a genuine moment of hurt for her. And I like, just the look on her face and the way her voice cracked, and she's like, the ship's yours, and she vanishes. I was just like, oh, my poor children. Like, I don't know how, like, okay, I've been talking a lot and I need to drink of water and not like, yeah, like my heart, like literally there was pain when he said loved past tense. And I understand that it's not, he doesn't love her anymore. I understand that that's not the case, but it still hurts because pain, and that's what happens when you OTP things. I'll get to comments in a second. There's a lot of comments I've seen the ping, ping, ping. I'll get to that in a second. Okay. All right, looking through comments now because there were a lot of comments happening while I was doing while I was having my monologue about true love. All right, 4x4 jousting. I read that already. Okay. Yeah, Arthur did probably like filch the mushroom out of David's bag when he was helping him because there was some moments where David was just like obviously trying to breathe still. So that's probably the case. We just might not have missed it. Okay. Well, I think with Killian being tricked, like she did a really good job of like completely like I didn't even get to the last second that like, oh, she needs the cutlass. Like not until she had it and I was like, oh, okay, so she needed that because that was the thing that touched him when he was still a man. Did that like I got the puzzle piece after it happened. So like that was like a really good manipulation of everybody because it was such like a throwaway line from Belle at the same time that like when it clicked back together, it was like, oh, okay, like that's a good thing. So yeah, I was kind of hoping that the first time we hear Killian say that he loves her, which I think it's going to happen in Camelot, and I was hoping that we would get like that in Camelot today, so we could parallel like, so people could actually see like, okay, he does love her, he just doesn't love Dark Emma because like the Emma that's in Camelot is still very like kind of floaty, like I'm not really sure what's happening, but like because I've noticed like I was watching some gift sets and she's very like every time she's around him she seems very like moth in a flame. She's saying like I'm not going to turn dark in one night. She does like she leans into him and she looks at his lips really quick and looks back like, hey, we should make out right now because your face is really pretty. And like so I think right now she's not completely she's just starting to become the dark one. She's more Emma now. So I think we will get the first time that he says it in Camelot. But it really does bite that like the first time we hear it, like actually him say it to her instead of saying it to other people because he said it now to Zelina and he said it to Belle. Not said it to her yet. Like now that he has, it's like past tense. I'm like, ugh, stop it. Okay, it jumped up again because it refreshed. I don't know if she did something like accidental magic. Like that might be it, but like I don't know. And I have another thought too, and I think it's kind of a crack theory because I've seen it a couple of times on Tumblr. So I'm not really sure like how much validity it has. But again, like there were a lot of little throwaway lines this week that came back to bite us later. So I have a thought that I'm going to leave it for a little bit later and when we get towards the end of things. So I don't know if she did like accidental magic or not, or if it was like something that was pretty brutal to get Excalibur back into the stone. Like I feel like they did uncover that Arthur was evil and then she was like, well, you need to we're gonna completely undo this and take away your power and your right to have this, and then stuff and things. I'm not really sure. We have to find out about that though. Yeah, Killian admitting like Killian is very self-aware, and it's a very good thing that he is very self-aware about his own progress coming back from this very dark place that he was in. So, you know, character development, this is how it's done. It's a good example of good character development. I think though, like I do like the whole I love Emma, I loved you. Like I think it was a very important distinction though for Emma to understand that like if she does keep pushing down this path of like keeping everybody in the dark while she does this other thing with all her plans that she has that we don't know yet, because we haven't really had a lot of time with Emma as the Dark One. So I've seen people criticizing her like, well, she's a boring villain. Well, she's been the villain on screen for maybe like 7 minutes tops. We don't know anything about her as a villain yet. So like, I don't like, we can't, like, we don't know much about it. So I think it's like to be very important distinction to be like, I loved you, not who you are now. Like, because you're not who you were. And like, there's distinctions that need to be made. And like, he's still acknowledging that she is still Emma, but she's not herself at the same time. Like, it's like, in like saying that, I realize that it is like a complicated, conflicting issue that you're just like, is that even the right way to say it? But it is. So, yeah, so going up through the comments, and yeah, that's my whole thing with like the how Emma, even though she's embraced darkness, actually has a plan that none of our knowledge or the Dark One knowledge to destroy it. I think like that's my whole theory with the like why she's like, she has these moments where she's like about to break and she's like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, like she has these looks on her face like she wants to, but then like she realizes she can't. So I think that she does have this plan that she's not revealing to anybody, including the audience, because you know, then that just takes well attention. It's TV, it's entertainment. I know how this works. It's painful, but I know how it works. So I think she does have a plan. She just can't let anybody know, because saying it out loud also makes the darkness, which is kind of lingering around, happens. So I don't know. Okay, so up to the top. Well, when she said the word choice could be just as devastating to any realizing real Emma left inside, like that was the thing, like to make Emma realize like that her plan maybe isn't going to be the best. Like if she keeps doing this, she is hurting other people, and like to have her realize like, yeah, I'm hurting all these people and I might continue to push people away and make them hate me and make them not love me anymore. Like this is the part where she realizes that it's not always a good thing to keep everybody in the dark when they're your linchpin in your master plan. So I don't know. That's my crack theory. So all right, caught up to the top, and we're still just discussing the darkness comments. Back to my notes, gotta fix that. Just doing a quick refresh to see if anybody else has, nope, okay. If I can bring that back, okay. All right, so then we get to, was there anything else between, there was that, and then I think we just kind of go straight to David getting knighted, because that's the next thing in my notes. I don't remember, I think it was just like we cut on this really sad things and went to David being knighted, which, you know, yay, David is actually a knight now and not just is a prince, which I am glad that they made that distinction, because it drives me kind of crazy, because it's not like I feel like and this might change depending on like, I think what happened with the original curse was that like we took over King George's kingdom when the before the original curse happened. So it might be that David is King David. Or if it's just like Snow is reclaiming her birthright, then Snow would be queen and David would be prince consort. And it drives me crazy that everybody calls him King David, because that's not how royalty works. It's when the person who's next in line for the throne, if it's a male, then he's going to be king. If it's a female, her husband is going to be a prince consort, because a king ranks higher than a queen. And then that puts him in charge and not her because that's how hierarchies in nobility works, unfortunately. So it's definitely David's prince, not a king. Just for future reference, with all the fanfics, please stop calling him King David because he's not a king. Just saying. Especially if you're keeping the backstory mostly the same. So David's Sir David, and he gets to have his fancy armor, and he has his the shield with his coat of arms, which the buttercups are back, or the flowers, that the forget-me-nots, that Emma's tattoo is also the flower that's on her father's shield. If you didn't know that, there's your trivia of the day. And then we have everybody clapping, and then we have Hook with the whole, like, he's clapping his hook together. I'm like, that's not how, is that making any sound? I want to see, like, the behind the scenes of him doing that, like, this isn't working. Like, this is not, like, he was at least, like, slapping it against the brace. It would have made a sound, but, like, I'd feel like against the hook, it's like, this isn't how this works. Yeah. I see there's some questions and comments. I'm going to get to that. I will go through that. And then Mary Margaret, Neil starts crying because there's lots of noise, and babies don't like lots of noise. And so Mary Margaret takes him out of the hallway, and Lancelot is still alive somehow. And then he reveals the shocking information that nobody guessed, that King Arthur was evil and was a big villain, and we have to defeat him somehow. So we'll figure out what's happening with that another time, because I literally have no idea what's going on with this thing with Arthur. Like, I really don't get it. I'm trying. There's very little motivations have been revealed yet, so I don't know what's going on with that. So then we go back to the Storybrooke, and Arthur visits Griff in jail, and just kills him because that's what we do. If you want to make me dislike somebody, make them kill a loyal henchman or a loyal squire to them. Like, I will do anything for you, and it's like, okay, kill yourself. Don't. Like, that's my least favorite thing, is when they're just like, oh, here's this henchman who is absolutely loyal to me and will do anything that I ask, including off themselves. Like, that. Don't do that. That's like, to me, that's the ultimate sign of an ultimate bad guy, is who just is like, who does that. I hate it. And I don't like, that will make me dislike somebody as a villain. Just like, make them do that. Just don't. It's bad. And they're building a new Camelot because we had the new Neverland, and we like all that, like, oh yeah. So boring. Try something else. I just wrote BRB writing a fic where Griff doesn't die because Jesus, why? The green smoke that disappeared Griff's body, which BT dubs, what about the Betamax tape security system? So I hope that got caught on tape, and then they realized that Arthur is a shady hoe. So hopefully that was on, but that was when the body that was taken away. I think that was Zelina's magic, the green. So did Zelina help Arthur somehow? Or what? I'm confused, because they're very good about, like, the color of smoke denoting who it is. Like, Regina's is purple black, Rumple's is red black, Emma's was white, and now as the dark one, it's kind of a gray. It's like black and white mixing together, which is really good to show that she's still, she still kind of has the internal battle of light and dark happening inside of her. So it's a good show of that. And Zelina's has always been green. And also, no, the original curse was purple. But everything that Zelina's magic has caused has been green. So, green, like, did Zelina make that potion? Like, I'm not really sure. And then, what happened at the very end? Because all I have is the letter A over and over and over again. Shoot, what happened at the very end? They had the toadstool. They figured out they were like, maybe we're trying to get with Merlin. And then I don't remember the last 3 seconds of the episode. Yeah, all I have, like, literally, it's just the capital letter A because I was just so angry that we didn't know what was happening next, because I just wanted to be like a giant movie, so I know what happens, because I'm impatient. But that's the episode. Oh no, I know what happened. Because I was blocking it out because sad thing. So they found out they had the mushroom the whole time, and they can talk to Merlin now, which is very helpful. Thank you. But they're crossing lots of barriers to get to that. And then we have Emma with so Belle like dropping the sandwich and running back. Like you could hear the plate shattering. Like Granny's fussing over her and like, you need to eat. And I'm just like, oh, I have so much love for Granny. And Belle getting really excited because Rumple's getting better, and she's booking it back to I'm booking it, Belle. Sorry. I'm so sorry. That was so bad. That was a bad pun. I'm so sorry. I apologize to my ancestors. I apologize to my family. I apologize to everybody for that pun. So Belle's running back to the pawn shop, and she gets there and Rumple's gone because Emma has kidnapped him, and she has the cutlass that touched him when Killian was the villain in the story, and he was not the bad person, when he wasn't the bad guy. So evil Jiminy Cricket said this thing when he was like, and you crushed the pirate's heart even more under your what was the phrase that he used? Something about how her boots are very inconvenient. So something about how she has really inconvenient footwear, because she does have those stiletto boots, which I like, but they are very inconvenient for walking around. I'm sure JMO agrees, but there's looks come before practicality. So he said that she crushed it even more. And you know how curses need somebody's heart to be crushed by the person you love most? Now, this could be just a thing, and this could be Tumblr freaking out because that's what they do best. But there's this thing where, like, Emma's heart can't be taken out of her chest. So, like, people are freaking out, like, did Emma crush Hook's heart and then give her heart to, like, and that's why she's succumbed to the darkness? Like, that's been kind of the theory that's been popping around a little bit. I get that, and I understand, like, that people want angst because that is how you OTP, is to have angst. But Emma's heart can't be removed, and I don't know if they're going to circumvent that to be like, well, it can't be removed by anybody except herself. Like, she can pull out her own heart. I don't know. I just know that, like, Cora couldn't remove it because her heart is protected because she is born of true love. So I don't know. And, like, a lot of people are there's talking about how the Charmings, they share a heart now. So maybe Emma and Killian share a heart now. I don't know. And, like, just because I'm hung up on this whole thing where Emma's heart can't be taken out of her chest. So, like, maybe it is a throwaway line where she's just being overdramatic because he's the Dark One and he's the ultimate darkness, and that's what happened. So she crushed. I think it might have just been like, you're stomping all over his heart because you're dark, and that's what dark people do. They hurt the ones they love. Or if it's leading into something else. But I'm just really hung up on the fact that Emma's heart can't be taken. So I don't think that that's what's going on. I don't know, but people are freaking out about that. And I'm just like, I'm hung up on that. I can't get fully behind it because I don't think, and plus, like, I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop with, like, so the Charmings are sharing this heart now. Does that mean that they share a lifespan? If one of them dies, that the other one automatically die as well? Like, I've read things where that has been the case before in other fiction where that has happened. Like, their hearts are tied together. They have the red string of fate tying them together or anything like that. Like, there's a lot of, I'm waiting for that to be a plot twist somewhere down the line, because there's a lot of potential for that. But if they're not going to go anywhere with it other than just, like, they're still alive and they just share a heart because it's true love and it's romantic, I don't know. That's my theory on the crack theory that's going around. So then Emma gets really like up close and like creepy with Rumple, or Mr. Gold, I guess, since he's, Rumple, Mr. Gold, just not evil anymore. Like JMO's knocking it out of the park, really, with this everything that's going on. So I don't know. I'm very just caps lucky. Like, I don't understand what's gonna happen next, and I would like to figure it out. So there's a lot of comments that popped up while I was rambling and theorizing. So I am going to scroll back down to where I last had this thing. Okay. I don't know if like she didn't pay the price and it's gonna leave, because I've seen some rumblings about that as well, and something about the underworld, but I don't know because I'm trying to stay away from a lot of outside. Like I will speculate here because that's kind of my job to speculate here, but I don't like to speculate anywhere else. So I don't know what's going to happen if Emma didn't pay any kind of price. And I think she is still going to be the Dark One in 5B. I don't think this is automatically going to go away, but I think we are going to get some kind of closure on the big angst of Emma's the Dark One. Oh noes, what do we do? So I think at least like the Excalibur thing is going to get fixed, but I don't know what that means for Emma as the Dark One. I didn't see any dream catchers on the windows. Which windows are we talking about? I just jumped. I can't. Who was talking about dream catchers? Mega Anime Freak X3. I did not. So what dream catchers are you talking about? Because I don't know. I obviously didn't see them, but in what windows are we talking about? Yeah, Dark One Emma's going to be solved this season, but it's 5B. She's still going to be the Dark One. It's just the big angst of like, oh noes, that's going to keep going on. I think that they did take over George's kingdom, so like maybe he is the king there. I don't know, but I tend to just not do that. I just tend to not do that. Oh, the hook does make a sound against strings. I guess so, but it's just not like clapping. It's just like ting, 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 ting. Yeah, Hans wanted, like, I forgot that, but I think like people just don't like to go into the technicalities of monarchy kingships. Like Hans would be a prince consort. He would not be a king unless he murdered Anna, which, to be fair, once she produced an heir, he could be king regent. That was what that would be, because like in Game of Thrones, how Cersei is the queen regent. OMG, stop jumping around. Sitting in anything perilous is a bad idea. Nice. I don't know. That's actually a good thought. This comment is maybe Baby Neil cried not because of the clapping, but because he's got some magic like Emma, and his magic told him the chair was bad. It seemed like he didn't start crying until after David sat. That's a good thought. I didn't think of it like that. I'll help, like, since Emma, they keep saying that Emma has magic because I thought the original idea was that Emma had magic because she was born of true love. So like everybody who has true love, whose parents are true love, they have magical powers. So I think a lot of people overlook that and just think that Emma has magic because she's the savior and she's supposed to. But I think Baby Neil possibly also has magic as well. So to make it be like there's warning bells and like dad's in trouble, I'm gonna cry. Like that's a good thought. I didn't actually think of that. I feel like maybe the clapping like got louder, or like it just went on long enough, because like babies are really sensitive. So like they cry. They'll like be used to something for a while and then it'll just make them cry because babies, or in this case because plot demanded it. So I don't know. That's a good thought though. Maybe the chair is dangerous because Lancelot sat there and then he died. So I don't know, but good. That's a good thought. I did not think of that. Yeah, apparently Maine. I mean, it is seaside. So like Storybrooke is, a lot of people like to have coastal property. So like, you know, Maine is a pretty decent place for that, I suppose. Or if you like hunting or being always in danger, I don't know. So maybe Storybook is prime real estate just because it is right on the ocean. So oceanfront property tends to sell pretty well. Um, uh, I don't remember. Zelina's also that witch from Arthur or Merlin, some mythology. Mad Madam Mim. I think that's what you're talking. At least that's the one from the Sword and the Stone. So I don't know if Zelina is also Mad Madam Mim or what's going on with that. So, oh my gosh, it keeps jumping. Like I catch up to where the comments were that I didn't read, and then it jumps. It refreshes. Yeah, like that is really good. It's genius how far they're dealing with Arthur. He's a villain that'll do anything for the best of Camelot. Like, yeah, like a lot of really good villains, like at least well-written villains, are the ones who are like, I'm gonna do anything to protect X, Y, Z, no matter what the cost. And that to X, Y, and Z could be seen as heroic, and that's how they're playing it. But to the people against X, Y, and Z, which really they're not against it. It's just I feel like freeing Merlin is going to do some damage that they're trying to prevent. But again, I don't know because they're not revealing everything. So if you magic away a corpse, it's less horrifying. Well, you know, we've had dead bodies. We had corpses and piles of corpses in the Enchanted Forest when Regina was on her killing sprees. So, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know really what's going on with Zelina's. Like, I just feel like the color of smoke is always very significant. So, I don't know. Um, Emma's magic is not black right now. If you look closely, it's like white on the edges. Like it is, there is a definite difference to it. Well, if they have this toadstool, how can they talk to Merlin? Did Emma bring him back? I don't know if they brought the tree back, but like it said that they could talk through barriers, and I think that might also mean barriers through worlds as well. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, so far this season, there's been the Fury. There's been Sharon, the boat keeper for the River Styx, and the Golden Apple. I think that there has been a lot of chatter about they're going to Greek mythology for 5B, and that's where the whole underworld theory is coming from. Again, I'm not looking too far into it because it's not, I'm trying not to speculate outside of this, but if they're going underworld to, it'll be interesting to see how they use Greek myths if they're, because there are, like you said, there were like the Golden Apple. I actually forgot about that until right the second, but it is sitting in the trunk, so I don't know. I just scrolled way too far down from the comments. Yeah, Emma's color was more white and rainbowy, and right now it's white and black mixed. Yeah, you guys are correcting me because I was bad about remembering things. This is all the yelling at me about my puns. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, crushing by the heel. Since I don't know, like they do, since Charming and Snow do share a heart, they wouldn't do that twice and have Emma no share a heart. They do a lot of paralleling of Snowing and Captain Swan. So I don't know if they would continue that trend with this as well. But again, Emma's heart can't be removed. I'm unless it's being removed by her own hand. I don't think it can be removed. So I don't know. And this is like a bad theory if we're just resting it on Emma's heart being removed and cracking it in half. So I don't know. I have no idea about the heart thing. Yeah, Clippy Rumple, I've seen that a couple of times, and I'm just like, no, he's evil Jiminy Cricket to me. That's all, or anti-Jiminy Cricket, or whatever you want to call it. I'm calling him evil Jiminy Cricket. I mean, we could get Dr. Hopper in here and Archie and having him talk, but I'm pretty good with evil Jiminy Cricket. I actually don't remember with if Ingrid was barefoot. I don't recall that detail, but good call on that with the impractical footwear. Magic might have protected the heart. Not having evil intentions in the sense that maybe Emma and Hook decided to take her heart to save her like he did her parents, and that's why the darkness had a stronger hold. That might be it. Like, if you can remove it without evil intentions, but I don't know if that's like the linchpin of like, can Emma's heart be removed or not? Like, he keeps using the word linchpin a lot this episode, but there's lots of linchpins and plans happening here. So I don't know if good intentions can remove her heart or if it just can't be removed altogether. But I just feel like they just said her heart can't be removed, so I don't know. Oh, Dreamcatcher. Well, Dreamcatcher is a 5 point. Yeah, I don't pay attention to episode names, future episodes, because they tend to give things away or lead to speculation that is incorrect or whatever. Yeah, crying was definitely the plot device to meet Lancelot. It happens. I don't know if they're gonna do if they're gonna bring in Hercules or not. Like, it's Hercules. Like, they go with tends to be more popular movies that they're gonna incorporate with from Disney. Like, definitely Frozen. They kind of I think executives really wanted that more than anything else to draw on viewership. I mean, I enjoyed what they did with Frozen, but they did jump on that bandwagon pretty quickly. And Hercules is definitely more of a cult classic than an actual very popular thing. So, the last time I was at Disney World, not very much going on in the Hercules merchandise department, but there was tons of everything else. No Frozen, because Frozen hadn't been released yet. I would like them to do something with Hades, though, because I really do enjoy when they take the popular theory of Hades being this evil person, and because once is the kind of thing that shows why people are villains or why they do this or that. I would really like them to do a take on Hades, because everybody always paints him as being this evil guy, and he's actually not. If you read the myths, he's just doing his job, and he happens to be the Lord of the Underworld, and stuff happens. So I don't know. So I would like to see them do something with Hades to, again, because they're big on redeeming villains. That would be I think that would be a good villain for them to actually do that with. And today I just decided I'm going to play with the Articuno plushie. It keeps jumping. I catch up to comments and then it jumps again. Yeah, they said Adam and Eddie did say 5B will be hell, so we're not sure. I don't know if that's literally hell, or just they're just saying it this is going to be so hard to write, because it can go either way. So, oh, I thought that Disney went to I thought Disney went to Frozen, or went to them, because this, since ABC is owned by Disney, they can just be like, hey, you can do this or else we'll take your show away, because that's how things work sometimes. I always took her heart not being removed as being related to love is strength, and she said that to Cora. So I kind of took it to mean more that heart was protected by love, so maybe love can remove it. That's a good thought. Maybe love can remove it. If they're really banking on Emma needing, because that might also go back to why she was so hurt today when Killian said he loved, past tense, her, and she's like, I gave up my heart for you, and now you did again, I really don't think that that's how this went down. I really don't. And I'm now I'm clicking things with Articuno's beak on my mouse. But I don't think that's what happened. There's this feeling in my gut, and I tend to go with my gut feelings tend to be right about this. I don't think that's what happened. I could be wrong. I'll be happily proven wrong, but I don't think that's what happened. But it's a good thought with her. Maybe love can remove it. I don't know. I just always took it to be it couldn't be removed at all, because it looked like Cora's heart was her hand was stuck, and it she couldn't get it out, and then Emma had to blast her away with magic, and then she was like, "Oh God, what was that? What did I just do?" Oh, did I actually say that? How it showed her innocence? Huh. I don't even remember that. I didn't know because I don't pay attention to like background stuff, or I try to stay away from it. So if it was Elizabeth Mitchell just saying no to Impractical Shoes, like, okay, good for her, because Impractical Shoes are a bitch. And I can say that because I just spent this weekend wearing them and my feet still hurt from that. Yeah, I think Hades would really fit into Once. Like, it would really, yeah, it would go with the misunderstood villain. I think it would be a good job to do that, and you know, we would see how that would work out. But because they might do like, there's a very popular twist of like, you know, Persephone lied about all this stuff, or was it Persephone? Yeah, it's Persephone. She lied, and then like things got twisted around, and that's why he's seen as the bad guy. And then Hades can find his true love on the show. Let's see who we can ship with Hades. I'm not really sure like who's doing what right now, but we can introduce new characters and figure out a way to ship Hades with somebody, and true love saves the day, and blah blah blah. Or maybe Persephone got taken away from him, and that's why he's all upset about something. I don't know. I'm completely running away into speculation land with absolutely nothing, no facts to be on it. Excuse me. Hello, person who just finished the episode. I can't pronounce your username. Adalaria. There's a lot of vowels there at the end. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. I don't know. I would like them to not ignore the fact that the jail has cameras. I did talk about this a little bit. They do have the Betamax cameras. So I feel like they tend to, since we're only doing the Camelot for like one arc and we're going to be on episode 4, we might start to like run full steam ahead now. So I don't think that they would completely ignore that, since we've had to use the cameras for one plot point of somebody dying in jail. I don't think that they would do that again. So it'd be I think that would be something that they would do, if we want to definitely move this plot forward and figure out that Arthur is evil and everything. So I always kind of liked the idea of, with like, yeah, the Hades Persephone myth, he's very lonely and he wants company, he just went about it in the wrong way. I always kind of went like Persephone went willingly, because she was like trying, like, because not Hera. Hera's always the evil person, or like not portrayed very nicely. Who is Persephone's mom? I will get it in a second. I can see all the comments coming with the answer now. The goddess of the hearth. Okay, I'm seeing all the comments coming in now, and I'm not getting it. Or I can envision them in my head. Persephone's mom. Google that. Demeter. That's what I was looking for. Demeter. Yeah, I think like Demeter was always very kind of perceived as overbearing. So I feel like a lot of Persephone might have just like run away. Like, I like that interpretation of the myth, that's a fairly popular interpretation, that she just kind of ran away, and like she fell in love with the god of the underworld herself, and she wanted to stay, and then it was like, well, I guess we're just gonna have to work out this thing because I have an overbearing mom, and that happens. But that would be another good thing, because again, with the whole like mothers and daughters thing, like that, since that's big on Once, Persephone and Demeter would be a really good inclusion in that. So this underworld Hades thing is really gaining traction. I'm still just like, I don't know if that's gonna be the case, but yeah, there are 4 comments about Demeter. Yeah, Tinkerbell. What was Tinkerbell? Oh yeah, Tinkerbell could be Hades' true love. I don't know, because the girl who plays Tinkerbell, whose name is escaping me again, she's on iZombie with the guy who plays Whale, and even though Whale's coming back for a little bit, I don't know if they could actually get her to come back, because she's like the starring character, and I don't remember if he's like how big a role that the guy who plays Will, his role is, because I haven't actually seen iZombie, and I should, because it looks interesting, but I don't know. Hades and Maleficent because dragons and fire. Sure, and she did say that she's like she's like the queen of hell or something like that in the original Sleeping Beauty movie, which you could say that in kids movies back in the 50s, I guess. So that might be an interesting take on things. And then Lily doesn't have to worry about her dad because, surprise, now you have a stepdad at Hades. I have no idea about the Lily thing before anybody asks. I don't, like, we haven't seen her. There's been no mention of it, so I don't know what the whole thing with Lily and her dad is. So I'm not concerned about it. Again, I said this last week or the week before, and I have no thoughts about it right now. Yeah, all the Demeter comments. Yeah, Persephone is missing or dead, and woe is me, my true love is gone. Yeah, that would be like a fairly typical way for them to go. Yeah, I've seen some fics with Killian as Hades and Emma's Persephone. I've also seen ones where Killian has died, and then they have to go on a quest to Hades, or to Hades. My gosh, to the underworld to get him back because he's dead in the fic, and I think WTVOC, Kristen is her name. She wrote something with Killing as a Ghost, and they kind of had to go on a quest to hell for that. But I don't think she ever finished it. She's been talking about it yet, but she hasn't actually done that because she has a ton of things to do. And then there's been some other ones that have kind of dealt with like the dead coming back, which that would be interesting because there's a lot of dead people in Storybrooke, and if they came back, oh my gosh, there would be some drama. So I don't know. There could be so many good, like really interesting things, like creepy, crazy things they could do if they went this whole like underworld route. But I did know that there were a couple of Killian as Hades and Emma's Persephone. I've seen some of those. I just haven't read them because they're A, not finished, and B, I'm not like, I don't have a problem reading works in progress because most of my big fics are works in progress, and it drives me crazy when nobody reads them because, oh, if they don't get finished, I'm going to finish it eventually. I don't have time to write. It's not a plot idea. It's not a plot issue. It's definitely a writing issue, or definitely a time issue. But I'm just not sure. Like, there's the point where I'm like, should I read it or not? Or I'm having a hair in my water issue. I'm having a commitment issue with them. It's my only thing. God's behaving badly type personalities. I don't know what that comment means. I'm sorry. Yeah, everybody from Once who's not on Once anymore is like kind of just been taken to iZombie. David Anders, that's the guy's name. That's Whale's name. I don't remember the actress's name for Tinkerbell. I remember David Anders because two of the people that I worked with when I was in South Korea, they were friends of his, and they told me when I was in Korea, they're like, didn't he just he was on that, because I told them I liked Once, and they're like, wasn't Dave on that show? And but he got onto that zombie show, so he's not doing that anymore. And I was like, oh, okay. There's my 6 degrees of separation from David Anders. Yeah, I know iZombie is a great show. I just haven't watched it yet because I don't have time to do anything. I'm either writing or I'm at work or I'm sleeping. Like, that's my entire life, or I'm doing this. Like, this is my Sunday thing. I specifically like set aside time to do this because I really like doing it. I like talking to everybody about this stuff, and I like watching Once, and I like flailing about it with everybody. So this is my set aside me time / kind of working. I guess I'm working. It doesn't feel like I'm working. Yeah, creepy factor, kind of like if you get all these gods from Olympus going in here, like, oh my gosh, there's so many freaky things that like we could go. I mean, they're not going to go that dark because it's Once, but you could get some really, really weird stuff with that. I don't know if Hades could be Lilith's dad. I mean, can Hades turn into a dragon? Because it happened in dragon form. So, I mean, I guess if he's a god, he can do whatever he wants. So if he saw Maleficent's dragon form was like, hey, we should do the dragon do. Yeah. That I apologize to my friends and family because that was just bad. That wasn't even funny bad. That was just bad. I'm sorry. Yeah. Major fics floating around for my fic. Yeah, I have a lot of things set in the future that I just either haven't published or just have not rebageled lately. Quickly going to refresh to see any comments anywhere else that anybody, nope, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Okay, Rose McIver, yes, that is her name. I don't know why I always forget it, because like JMo's like her Instagram is always like, I went out to dinner with Rose McIver again, and I'm just like, I should remember her name because they're BFFs, and they, I'm bad at this. Gods Behaving Badly is a book about the Greek law. Oh, I thought I read something about that. Or maybe it was just like somebody wanted that to happen about them being modern day things. I read a lot of modern day gods things. The Hades myth books that I currently am reading or what did read. There's other ones, but they're not current, and I'm also not going to say them because they are, I don't know the ages of everybody here, and they're most definitely adult books. There's by Meg Cabot, the Underworld trilogy, which was really good, and that was a take on the Hades and Persephone myth, and it's really good. Like, I read it when I was having like my existential crisis, depression, everything, because a family friend had died, and I was like having trouble dealing with it. But even then, I was having all this trouble, but I read these books, and I was like, this is so good, and it's kind of just really helping my anxiety about all of this stuff. I shouldn't be reading books about death when I'm having anxiety about it, but they're really good. So yeah, Meg Cabot's Underworld trilogy was really good. And I can't remember the name of the other series. I read another series that had that in it, or it was like a side feature of it, but that's escaping me. If you can see behind me all of the books, so I can't. I don't have everything in hand all the time. All right, comments coming in. All right, bye. People who are leaving. Zeus turned into a swan and knocked up a girl in swan form. We're not going to think about how Zeus was really into bestiality or how there is a character on this show named Swan. I just don't want to think about that. Yeah, so maybe Hades turned into a dragon. I don't know. That would be an interesting twist. Side-eye. Oh, yeah, I did really side-eye Regina when she said it's absurd to keep, or you can't keep painting yourself as a victim. It's absurd. Maybe she's speaking from a point of, like, because I keep doing that, so I know that nobody believes my bullcrap anymore, so stop it. Or if she just, again, had this moment of lack of foresight. Again, I don't know because I haven't talked to my evil real person. I haven't talked to Tina yet because she hasn't seen the episode. At least when I started this, she probably has now. My phone has been buzzing like crazy. So I don't know. And I really was side-eyeing her because I was just like, honey, you're pot kettle black. I don't know. So I did side-eye Regina for that. What are we predicting? Theories for the next episode. Oh, I don't know. I tend to like just not really predict anything for the next episode just because I don't. I like to because I will get to the point where I will say, oh, it'd be really cool if XYZ happened. And then that's not what happened. I get really disappointed. So like I tend to just, I don't really watch the promos that are released. I try to stay away from spoilers. I've said this before. So I have no theories about what's going on next week. Even though I did see the pictures of the scene that's happening next week, that everybody turned into their icons, and I just don't want to, again, I have my thing with spoilers and everybody else has their thing. And I just have to live with it. Yeah, I don't have any theories for the next episode. I'm trying not to. I'm really interested to see what Emma's going to do with that, though. Like, what Emma's going to do, like, with Rumple. Like, I don't know what her plan is to turn him into a hero, since he is a blank slate right now. So I'm glad that they, like, said he is a blank slate. He could go either way. And then she's saying, all right, so I'm going to turn you into the purest hero that anybody has ever known. How are you going to do that? I don't know how that's going to happen.
So, all right, this is gonna refresh here in a second. Oh, it just refreshed. Yeah, I don't know how I really just don't know how the hero thing for Rumble's gonna work. I'm very confused on her plans for that. And I don't know, like I just all the villains this season so far. Like we don't know Arthur's motivations. I said my theory already about what Emma's possible motivations, plans, things are. I don't know. So I don't know. There's all like Zelina's motivations and her plans. It's all seems to be centered around like her kid, and I don't know. I don't. That's my end of the day is I don't know because I haven't rewatched the episode yet. So I'll probably do that, and then I'll have a better idea of like, all right, so I have this idea and whatever. So comments just refreshed again. Yeah, like with the clear slate again, because like he still has his memories. Like obviously he knows. I'm sorry, I just bumped my computer. Like he knows that Emma's the Dark One now, and he's not anymore. So he still has his memories, and he still has the knowledge of what he's done, and he has like motivations and everything. Like, so how does that make him a clean slate unless they completely wiped him? So I don't know. Like, I keep saying that, but I really don't know. So yeah. Yeah, I really have no idea what's going on with the Rumple thing. I said this before, I said this a couple weeks ago, that I really have concerns about how they're going to do Rumple's, how they're going to handle Rumple being not the Dark One anymore, and how they're going to handle his quote unquote redemption because they just gave him a blank slate. I don't know. I keep saying that, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe pulling out Excalibur. That was I don't even know. Was that a Cleveland accent? Was that a Boston accent? I don't know. Maybe pulling out Excalibur will turn him into a pure hero. I don't know. I really just don't know about that. Maybe Emma will lock him in a room with puppies and kittens, and he'll come out pure and good. I mean, you'd have to be a pretty heartless bastard to come out of a room full of puppies and kittens, unless you're allergic, and then I can understand why you're not pure at heart. But, you know, I don't know. This whole thing with Rumple, I really don't know. I'm very, very concerned and confused. I also want to know how they shot that episode, like how they shot that scene. Like, did they shoot Evil Jiminy Cricket separately? Because I know it takes like 4 or 5 hours for them to get Bobby into that glittery makeup and everything. So, and like crimp his hair and everything. So like because I don't think they ever showed like everybody in the same shot. So I think they like might have had JMO off screen reading her lines and him responding, and then like they just filmed Emma and Rumple separately. So I don't know. So much I don't know. All right, comments popped up. Oh my gosh, so many comments popped up. Yeah, props to Emily for like expressing all that dismay and confusion and sadness that he's just gone. Like he just left. But because she didn't know, she's like, oh, he's better and he's gone. That's great. Thank you. Well, Coward Rumple, he might have been the type to kick a puppy, but like he also had his own evil Jiminy Cricket. He had Zoso probably to teach him how to be the Dark One. So just take it and run away with it. I don't think Rumple's able to still use magic because he didn't have any magical abilities until he became the Dark One. So maybe he might still have an affinity for it, but like I don't think he has it inside him himself. He might just be able to like manipulate what's already existing. So again, with the I don't knows because I really don't. I do bet that he knows that when Emma's looking across, she's not looking at Excalibur, she's looking at the Dark One, or the Darkness speaking, because he went through that himself. It was probably a long time ago, but he probably knew that. New Rumple is probably going to be like, please take me back to Belle. I don't want to do like that. Yeah, he's going to go back to being a little bit of cowardly Rumple, which it'll be interesting to see that character come back, and it'll be interesting to see how Belle reacts to that character more than anything else. But yeah. I don't know if he was a coward. I don't know if he was completely bad, but I think he was very selfish, and like selfishness and badness have often been confused together because people who do bad things often do them for selfish reasons, but you can be selfish and not be bad. So I think it's negligible, possibly. So I don't know. Maybe Red will appear and help him. Like Ruby. Ruby is coming back. She's there was some somebody there was an Instagram picture and with her and Merida. So yeah, Ruby's coming back, and I don't know what her role is though. I have no idea. Again, I stay away from like most things unless it's like I don't watch the promos, even though they're officially released things, just because like it's actual episodes and I want to like feel it all when it happens, rather than like, okay, I'm gonna brace myself, and then it's I've already gotten myself halfway there, and then it's like, and like it didn't happen. I ran and then I stopped and then I jumped into the pool, and that wasn't as good of a splash. So but other official stuff I will look at. No, the darkness, it specifically said that it took the form of a previous dark one. So either the previous dark one or a previous dark one. So Rumple probably talked to Zoso or to one of the other ones, because we did see the dark boar, which we're still trying to figure out how that happened. How did a boar become the dark one, or did he shapeshift and just liked the form of the boar so much? I don't know. So you do speak to a previous, it's like in Avatar, The Last Airbender, not the blue people, and definitely not the really bad M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie. Like you can speak to previous incantations because it is kind of like being in your former life. It's just a different incarnation of the same energy. It just takes on a new form eventually. So he, like how Aang would talk to Avatar Kyoshi, or Avatar Roku was generally his go-to because he was the most recent one. He would talk to them, or like he would talk to Kyoshi or to Paku. No, that was the sexist dude that Katara battled. The water bender he didn't actually talk to him no, he did, because there was something about the face stealer. And then he talked to the lady airbender, because he was like, you're the only other airbender most recent that I could talk to who might understand this. I don't remember her name. But yeah, it's just like talking to previous selves in the Avatar state. So just previous dark ones. I hope Belle likes Precious Little Cowder Lumprel, but like I don't know how she's gonna react to him, because she's like, wow, you're very different from how I remember you. So I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna happen. So all right, I'm gonna take a drink of water while this refreshes. I'm gonna need to take some medicine before we go to bed tonight, because oh my gosh, I can already feel the sore throat happening. Yeah, Pumbaa the Dark Lord. I don't know, but it was very bizarre with that. So all right. Is there any other things that we would like to discuss? Because we went over a lot of things, and I don't know if I have anything else that I know that I'm not going to just say, I don't know, to. So if there's anything else that we want to discuss, please leave that in comments now. I'm going to give it another couple minutes, and if there's nothing, then we can call it quits. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to check very quickly. through a lot of these things. Double check all my notifications and make sure there's nobody asking questions because they can't get in the stream. And then, oh yeah, before the previous Yang Chen, that was her name. Yeah, I really could not remember it. There's only so much that I can. I know I have a lot of Avatar trilogy or Avatar trivia. I cannot speak. I am so sorry. I was doing this last night too. I said on Tumblr, what if all the months that end in ER actually ended in RE? And all my followers were like, that's how they do it in France and French and Spanish. And I was like, I knew that. I'm really dumb. I was so tired last night. We took over like half a bar and we're like playing pool all night. And I screaming over loud music and over anguish because I could not sink the 15 ball into any of the pockets. And then Andrea had to scratch the 8 ball and we lost because it's a very tragic night. So I'm still out of it. Yeah, I know a lot of Avatar trivia, but apparently I can't remember names very well. So yeah. They didn't actually say the knight in the water was a spirit. I think it was just like, I mean, I guess it's kind of implied like magic. Like it could be just magic taking form, or it could be like this dead guy who's just reforming itself, like a Heartless or something. I just like kind of takes all of this together and is like, okay, now I'm gonna fight you even though I'm a little uncoordinated. Or this is my impression of a Heartless. So it's like with all the armor. Yeah. So I don't know if it's, I don't, they never specifically said, but I just kind of go with that because that tends to be the way to go. Has the Dark One ever had a true love or had a host with a true love before? That is a really good question. Before Rumpel, I don't know. Because True Love's Kiss is a way to break the Dark One's curse, even though it can be like they can still have true love and accept the curse, like how Rumpel and Belle have done. I don't know if it's ever been mentioned if somebody else has had a true love and been the Dark One. No idea. I don't think it's impossible. I think it's totally probable. What if it was like an evil power couple was like, yeah, you do all those bad things and I love you for you. And he's like, sweet babe, let's go and stab things and take stuff and whatever. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm sure that it has been done before in the past as well. I don't think it's very impossible at all. So if Arthur's being shady and using magic to put Charming off his game to get the toast. So I don't know that, like, again, with the whole canteen thing, I don't know because I don't remember, like I didn't pay any attention to that. I didn't pay significant attention to that. So that's a good thought, but I just don't know because I didn't pay attention to it at the time. So yeah. I don't know. Thank you for saying my Heartless impression is precious because I'm just wacky, wavy, inflatable, arm flailing tube man. Yeah. Arthur could be using magic with magic starting in the water. I think they did the thing like that with like Lord of the Rings when they were crossing the marshes with all the dead people in them. That like show, or like when that's not a good one because the dead people don't actually like rise out of the water, but they do in Harry Potter. When Dumbledore and Harry were crossing over to get the Horcrux and the dead bodies, the Inferi, that's the word I'm looking for. They came up out of the water, but like you could just see like hands and faces and other grotesque body things. So I think like they kind of panned around to show there's pieces of armor laying around, so they could just reform into a monster to fight if in fact that needed to happen, like an automatic protection system. So I don't know. Magic, man, it does things, and I don't quite understand because I am not a person who uses magic. Yeah, like Rumple and Lacey with the whole like, you're bad and I love you anyway for being bad. Like just evil motorcycle. Like the thing that popped in my head when I said that was like, this just sounds like a greaser from the 1950s and like his girlfriend. They just sit on the back of the motorcycle and wear leather jackets and she's in a poodle skirt and they go and like have knife fights with the Sharks and the Jets or something. I don't know. And that just sounds like I'm talking about a hockey game, but don't bring a knife to a hockey fight because that's just, you punch people in hockey. You don't do, yeah. Oh my gosh, I am all over the place tonight. Yeah, and maybe they've all met their true love, but again, they've always said that like true love is very rare. And not everybody gets their true love. They just get somebody that they really like and they're like, hey, this feels really good, we should stay together. Or they just do it because you need children to work your farms because that's what peasants just got together and bred like rabbits to work farms. That's how it works. So I don't know. Okay. The Swamp and the Bridge, the Lamp Chamber with Aladdin. Yeah, kind of. I can see that where you have to like, and you're like waiting for something to happen, and then nothing happened, but then you trip and it causes all of the, like you touch something you're not supposed to, and then chaos reigns. So yeah, that's a good thought too, especially since we haven't incorporated Aladdin as we could have. We have the genie, and we had Jafar and Once in Wonderland, which I still haven't watched. I know that you guys want me to watch Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. I haven't, and I'm sorry. I just haven't because I know I'm going to want to do recaps on it and I don't have time to do that. So I have not seen Once in Wonderland yet. I'm sorry. Yeah, Lord of the Rings. If Sora appears, yeah. Which, we might get that crossover whenever they decide to release Kingdom Hearts 3 in 17 years. It's been 10 already. Come on, let's go. And I know that I know there's all these side games and whatever, but I don't have a PSP and I don't have all this and that and the other thing. I'll release them all on one console. So I'm not buying every single freaking console and a cell phone that's only available in Japan. I only have so much money, Squeenix. Come on. So I need to watch some Let's Plays of people playing all the other games so I understand what's happening when I finally get Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, there is something with dead bodies in Greek mythology too, but it's been so long since I have done in-depth stuff with Greek mythology that I just can't remember what it is. So we're really into this Once Upon a Time Kingdom Hearts Let's just take a crossover game and insert it into a crossover / original character insertion TV show. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. So yeah. All right. I think we have kind of covered about as much as we can get tonight. We've gone many places. We've been going for about 2 hours. That's why my voice is giving out now. So I knew it's going to get progressively longer. I can feel it. We're going to go to 1:30 one of these days, 1:30 my time. And I know there's a couple other people popping in now that live in other time zones. So yeah, I'm gonna have to start getting some lifesavers or something to save my voice. Okay, so I think if it's not gonna refresh and there's nothing else, we have gone many places in this and we've talked a lot of good theories, good discussion, everybody. Good thoughts. Keep bringing those. And please, also, if you would like to let other people know about this stream, because there's a really good group that comes in and has good discussion and talking. But honestly, the more the merrier. The more people who come in and chat, the better off everything is. And let people know. You can watch it on the channel. It's up. They're up constant. They're up forever. But more people on here would be really great. So encourage other people to come and watch, share, subscribe, blah, 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 that whole call to action stuff. Like there's all these buzzwords that I hate using because I feel like a pretentious tool bag. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for right now. I'm going to go find some cough drops and rest my voice for, I'm going to need it, I bet, for next week. It's episode 3, guys. And we have all of these, all pain. All right, I will talk to you guys next week. So thank you for watching, and bye.